What is going on, guys? It is Mitch here. I want to apologize first off for the audio quality. I don't have a mic right now, so this might be a little bit I wanted to show you guys my new Hollis SMS100. I just got it over Christmas. I bought it for myself as sort of a late Christmas present, and I got one dive on it yesterday, and that's about it. Just wanted to give you some first impressions, what I think about it, what's good, what's bad. So first off, it is a Hollis BCD. It's very similar to the other Hollis BCDs I have. I have a single tank Hollis rig and I have a doubles Hollis rig, and they all use the same similar Cordura material. It's really tough, really well made. So yeah, so the main reason I bought this particular BCD is number one, it's a really good, well-made BCD. The Cordura on the outside of the shell is really tough. It stands up to the rigors of wreck diving and technical diving, things like that. But also you can use it as a single tank BCD, you can even put a twin set on it, and primarily it is a side mount BCD. I don't think it's the best side mount BCD out there. If that's all you're going for, there are a lot of people out there that hate on the Hollis SMS100, but it is overall a really, really nice BCD. So I just wanted to give you a quick rundown on the basics of the BCD, what I like, what I needed to change, that sort of stuff, so let's get into it. So to start off, obviously we have that all Cordura outer shell, so that really protects the inner bladder, which is really nice. This has about 52 pounds of lift, which is a ton of lift. I don't think I'm ever going to need more than that. Even diving steel 100s with stage bottles and things like that, I don't think I need more than that. It does have bungees on the outside, so that'll help it vent. It does have a full sort of standard harness like you'd see on any backplate system, but there is no backplate. This is a soft plate harness. This is all malleable material. If you did want to put the single tank straps through, you can put them through here, or you could even bolt on a single tank adapter. Right now I have a spine weight on the inside, so it's about 4 pounds of shot weight, and on the back side I also have some more weight. But keeping with the theme of the front here, the first thing I did when I bought this was move the inflator from the shoulder location up top down to the bottom. It's just really nice when you're diving side mount to have this inflator coming up from the bottom. The other thing I did when I bought this BCD is I took off all of these pre-bent D-rings. So as you can see, these D-rings are sort of tack welded and they're rigid. They don't move back and forth, which kind of sucks. I wasn't too happy about that. So the first thing I did was I came in and I replaced a few of them with D-rings that I had around. Unfortunately, I ran out of belt slides, so these ones up here are going to stay fixed rigid as they come with the Hollis kit. The one thing I was a little disappointed about was on the, this is the dual bladder unit, so it has inflators on both sides. It has one here and one there. I took out this inflator, and then I switched this inflator to the bottom. But when you look onto the harnesses, this harness has holes for the pull dump to go through. On this side, the pull dump doesn't have any holes to go through. So right now it's just kind of going through that that one point. So I have to figure something out here to rig this up to change the pull dump around. So I'm just going to flip it over and we'll take a look at the back side. So on the back side, I elected to go with a Hollis weight plate. So each of these pockets, Hollis says that they'll hold 3 pounds. I dove this for the first time the other day and I put 5 pounds in 2 of them and 4 pounds in the top one, I think. So this will hold 5 pounds. I was using shot weight, which is a little bit bigger than your normal brick weight, so you should be able to easily fit 30 pounds in a weight plate. But then I also put a spine weight on, which is another 7 pounds in addition to the 3 or 4 pounds on the inside, just because when I'm diving with aluminum cylinders, dry suit, a couple layers underneath, I am quite buoyant. I'm about 40 pounds buoyant. So I need all this lead to get down. Another option is obviously just to put some onto a weight belt, but this just seemed like the easiest way to go. I might go to weight belt down the road. The rails at the bottom are adjustable. Obviously here you see all these different holes. You can move it around depending on where you like it and where you want to see it. So that's really easy to do. It's just a simple Phillips screw and you can change those over. Obviously really nice hardware. These are all stainless steel. And again, I can't say enough about the really durable Cordura outer lining. It's always really, really nice to see that. The crotch strap comes from the back. This is the 2-inch crotch strap that comes with it, but if you look underneath, there is room for a 1-inch crotch strap to go through. The 2-inch crotch strap is really not necessary unless you're using a scooter. but most people just go for it because it is sort of the golden standard, is the 2-inch crotch strap, but you don't need it for a lot of things, so the 1-inch crotch strap can be a little bit nicer. They did put a piece of neoprene around this, which is nice. It helps any chafing or wear on your dry suit. So that is definitely a nice feature when you go with sort of a purpose-built side mount rig, is you get these little features that you wouldn't otherwise. Now the loop bungees on here are sort of the standard that you always see Hollis advertising. It seems a little odd. They put a nicely sized bolt snap on this side, but they didn't do that on this side. They put some massive quick links on here and a massive bolt snap, and it just seems like it's way too big for the job it's doing. I mean, we don't have really heavy tanks here. Even with steel 100s, you don't need clips this big. So these feel a little oversized, but the bungee material here is a nice bungee material. It stretches nicely, and then obviously, like I was saying, this is a good size D-ring, but it's really easy to switch these out to different D-rings if you prefer. So the way I set it up for the day was I just clipped my one clip onto the other big one, and then I used this as my loop bungee around my tank, and it seemed to work pretty good. It has a pretty good length, but it is kind of a little high on this attachment point. There's another attachment point down here, but it just seems a little too low on the BCD, too far towards my butt. So what a lot of guys I see are doing is they'll put a piece of webbing that runs across here from side to side. They'll put a couple holes in the webbing, they'll put their loop bungees through there, and all it'll be is a piece of webbing off the end, and you can put that around your tank valves. So that is one change I think I might make. So overall, a really nice BCD. I am a bit of a Hollis fanboy, so anytime I get something that's Hollis, it's bright and red, and I just love it. They have really good quality products. I've been diving this stuff for the better part of 4 years now. One of my Hollis, my single tank Hollis setup has probably 200 plus dives on it. It's held up really well. Even comparing it to this BCD here today, the colors are the same, the material still looks like it's brand new. So in terms of quality, no reservations there at all. The nice thing that about the SMS is it's built for side mounts, so it has more buoyancy towards your butt and less buoyancy up at your shoulders, which is where you need it. And that's where I felt I was lacking in my old side mount ring, was that it didn't have enough buoyancy towards my butt, and I felt my butt was sinking, and I was just fighting the entire dive to try and keep my feet up. Whereas with this, it has better buoyancy right around your butt area and less buoyancy up at your shoulders where you don't really need it. And the really nice thing obviously is, again, this weight plate. It integrates the weight really nicely, up to 30 pounds, all integrated, super nice. Again, I was talking about these D-rings that Hollis gives you. They give you so many freaking D-rings. I have 4 extra D-rings that I pulled off of this BCD that I don't need. They're just extra, they're garbage, they're cluttering it. There's some people that might want them, but there's absolutely no reason to have so many D-rings on here. It does give you more options, but you just don't need them. So in terms of sizing, I got the large, extra large version. There is also a small medium version and a 2XL version, so I got sort of the in-between regular size. I'm 6'3", 250 pounds, I'm a big guy, and this large, extra large harness fits me just fine. There's not any difference in the BCD itself. When you get the sizing is all in just how much material there is on the webbing. So if you are looking at buying it, the only difference is how much webbing is left up around the corners and the shoulders. So as you can see here, there's still, being 6'3", there's still a huge chunk of extra webbing sticking out here. So all you can do is you can just cut that off, or you can just tuck it down inside there and tuck it away. So if you are sort of thinking, maybe I'm a small medium, maybe I might need the large extra large, just go with the large extra large, because the only difference is just a little bit of extra webbing, and you can always cut that down later. So the inflator that they're using is just a standard 90-degree inflator. It's the same as with all the new Hollis BCDs. They're all coming with this sort of oval corrugated hose. Mine's held up really nice on my single wing, like I was talking about. 200 dives, and the only thing I've had to do is service the inflator. Around 100 dives, so I just take this apart, do a little lubrication in there, and it was all good. So in terms of diving it, I noticed right away it is a lot more trimmed out in the water. You get that buoyancy where you need it right away, and there's a lot of adjustability with the weight plate. You can move that weight plate back and forth through the system to help fine-tune your trim. So that's a really nice feature of this particular BCD. In terms of the first dive, I did find that moving that inflator down to the low spot and having the dump valve on the shoulder, that is something I've never done before. So it was a little weird, took a little getting used to, but overall I think it's gonna work out really, really well. Right off the shelf, this fit pretty well. It does have the adjustable shoulder straps, so those are a nice feature. You can easily put the rig on, tighten it up. I know a lot of the hardcore tech guys aren't gonna like that type of stuff, but for a lot of people, they're gonna like that adjustability. So this has been my review of the Hollis SMS100D. The D stands for dual bladder unit. I've taken the second bladder out of this, as I said, because I don't need it here diving in the cold water. I have a dry suit. So otherwise, this is just a standard Hollis SMS100. It's comfortable, it's lightweight, really high quality build. I would like to try out the X-Deep system. I've heard lots of really good things about it. I've looked at it. It looks like they've spent a lot of time, a lot of money developing a side mount system that really just works and works well. It's a streamlined system. It's a simple system. So if I was to go with something else, I probably would have tried that. I know Halcyon's come out with a system, but it seems very rigid, not too adaptable. So there are tons of other systems out there. I just like the Hollis system for number one. I know it's a good quality product. It is kind of expensive, but you do have the adaptability of using this for your single tank rig and your side mount rig. And that's the main reason I went with this over another side mount system, because I can take this and I can lend it out to my brother, I can lend it out to friends. They can dive my single tanks regulators and they can dive this BCD and come diving with me, and they don't have to worry about renting. So that is a really, really nice feature of this BCD, is that you can use it for single tank as well, which is a big bonus when you want to be able to lend your gear out. Maybe you're an independent instructor and you want to lend this stuff out to your students. This is a really good option to go with the SMS, because you have both of those options. So thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more videos, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to try and do videos, once or twice a month, and just post some stuff that I think is useful. So this has been my review of the Hollis SMS100. I do have the D SMS. I have the D.